Imagine a brilliant executive fired for publicly correcting their boss, or a gifted student shunned by classmates for always knowing the right answer. These people didn't fail because they lacked intelligence. They failed because they showed too much of it. Their truth was too inconvenient. The world doesn't always reward those who know the most, but those who know when and how to reveal their knowledge. Ever noticed how smart people often end up isolated? It's no coincidence. In many settings, especially professional ones, high intelligence isn't seen as a gift, it's seen as a threat. A study from Karski University found that people with high IQs struggle to build strong social bonds, not because they lack social skills, but because their precise logical insights make others uncomfortable. It's as if deep thoughtfulness automatically sets someone apart from the group. Think of Alan Turing, the mathematical genius whose code-breaking shortened World War II. He saved millions of lives, yet he was hounded, humiliated, and cast out by the very system meant to protect him. His brilliance was too vast to be embraced, and he paid a steep price for it. Look around. A colleague who points out a mistake seems arrogant. A student asking tough questions to a teacher becomes difficult. It's not a lack of tact that irritates, it's excessive clarity. The truth is simple. Intelligence doesn't shield you, it exposes you. When you see what others miss, you risk being misunderstood. Social instincts often push people not to accept the brilliant, but to push them away. And here's the core message. Being smart isn't enough. You need to wield your intelligence in a way that doesn't alarm those around you. Understand, don't prove. Many believe that presenting the truth clearly and logically will win people over. But reality disagrees. Being right doesn't mean you win. Sometimes it's the fastest path to defeat. Picture a team meeting. You spot a flaw in the proposed strategy. Raise your hand, point it out, and offer a better solution. On paper, you've helped the team. In reality, you're the annoying know-it-all. Nobody likes being corrected in front of others. The instinct to protect one's ego trumps logic. A Harvard Business Review study showed that in workplaces, people who frequently correct others are seen as less likable, even when they're right. It's not about your logic, it's about how others feel next to it. This isn't just at work. In a friendly chat, if you correct someone's mistake, the vibe shifts. They clam up, the conversation stalls. Your attempt to contribute turns awkward. The error is thinking truth alone persuades. People don't respond to facts. They respond to the emotions those facts stir. If your truth sounds like "I'm smarter," it repels. Instead of asking, "How do I prove I'm right?" try, "Is this the moment to say it?" or "How can I help them see it themselves?" That's where strategic intelligence begins. The power of harmlessness. When you seem harmless, people let their guard down. They relax, and that's when they open up to your ideas. This isn't about pretending to be weak or incompetent. It's about picking the right moment to show your strength. Great minds have always known this. Leonardo da Vinci, famed as a painter, secretly studied engineering, anatomy, and military design. When his ideas surfaced, they hit with stunning impact because no one saw them coming. Or consider seasoned diplomats. They listen more than they speak, never appear threatening, yet quietly steer negotiations. Why? They don't trigger defensiveness. Stanford research shows that professionals seen as collaborative and non-competitive gain more access to sensitive information in companies. They inspire trust, viewed as allies, not rivals. Seeming harmless doesn't diminish your value. It gives you freedom to observe, learn, and act when the time is right. You avoid sparking envy or defenses, and your moves catch others off guard. This is especially useful in delicate situations. Instead of saying, "You're wrong, here's the right way," try, "Have you considered this option?" or "What do you think of this idea?" The tone shifts everything. This technique is a cornerstone of high-stakes negotiations. Skilled mediators don't impose solutions. They ask questions that guide others to the answer. In psychology, therapists do the same. They don't tell patients what to do, but help them discover it. This makes the solution feel personal, dissolving resistance. Steve Jobs was a master at this. In meetings, he'd plant doubts, let the team debate and explore. But the seed of his idea, sown early, felt like a group effort by the end. This takes restraint. You know the answer, but hold back, guiding instead of proving. When someone reaches your conclusion on their own, they feel respected, and you gain influence without force. Mediocrity sticks together. Mediocrity rarely travels alone. It thrives in groups. This is a major hurdle for those who think differently. In environments where the majority sets the tone, anyone who stands out becomes a threat, not for their mistakes, but for what they do right. Excellence exposes others' complacency. Groups often unite not to grow together, but to preserve comfort. You see it in companies, schools, even families. A worker who outperforms expectations gets sidelined. A student who tries harder becomes a target for mockery. Worst of all, this dynamic is subtle. Fake smiles, sly jabs, exclusion dressed as friendliness. A University of Essex study found that in average-performing groups, those who raise the bar are seen as disruptive, even when their intentions are positive. Groups unconsciously prioritize stability over the change growth demands. This doesn't mean you should hide or settle for less, but it does mean you need to be strategic about showing your value. Lay it all out at once, and you trigger defenses, closing doors. Show your intelligence tactically, and you open paths without resistance. The art of invisibility. Being constantly visible might seem like a sign of importance, but it makes you a target. Strategic invisibility is about observing, reading the room, and acting precisely without fanfare. In nature, the deadliest predators don't roar. They blend in and strike at the right moment. The same logic applies in life. Smart people who reveal themselves too early risk becoming predictable or drawing unwanted attention. Take corporate negotiations. Leaders who listen more than they speak make better decisions. A Journal of Organizational Behavior study showed that reserved leaders excel in complex talks because they act with calculation, not showmanship. Invisibility isn't passivity, it's strategy. You're not out of the game, you're reading the field, waiting for your move. While others vie for attention, you build advantages. Those who master this don't jump into every debate. They speak when it counts, and their words carry weight, not for flair, but for timing and relevance. That's when you stop being just another person and become someone others truly hear. Shaping perception. How others see you matters more than who you are. It's unfair, but it's how the world works. People don't react to your essence. They react to the image you project. Quiet confidence earns respect. Insecurity, even with competence, gets dismissed. Perception drives behavior, so you need to manage it wisely. At a job interview, candidates with confident posture, eye contact, and a steady voice are more likely to be hired, even if their resumes are weaker. It's not about looks, it's about reading the context. In an office, someone who speaks sparingly but with assurance seems more reliable than someone constantly proving their worth. Managing perception isn't about being fake. It's about knowing how to present yourself. In negotiations, you might seem flexible to create space, then show firmness when it matters. In a presentation, start simple, then build to a surprising depth. Subtle influence. Manipulation sounds harsh, but we're talking about subtle influence, guiding decisions without pressure. It's a peak form of social intelligence. Direct persuasion triggers defenses. But plant doubts, ask the right questions, or offer options that lead to your goal, and the decision feels like theirs. Resistance fades. In sales, savvy reps don't say, "Buy this." They ask, "Would you prefer the basic or the premium version?" The choice is already framed around a purchase. In politics, leaders who avoid seeming forceful keep more allies by making the desired outcome feel inevitable. Great managers do this too. Instead of "do it this way," they ask, "How would you make this better?" It fosters ownership. A Forbes study found that leaders using indirect influence are 31% more likely to get voluntary team cooperation. This approach takes patience and context reading, but its impact is massive. Silence and action. Knowing what to say is crucial. Knowing when to say it or when to stay silent is what makes intelligence strategic. Rushing to take a stand is a common trap. In a meeting, an employee justifying an unfinished task sounds insecure. A seasoned colleague says, "It's in progress, I'll update when it's done." Calm, no oversharing. A Nature study found that people who pause before answering tough questions seem more confident and competent. A pause signals control, often outweighing any argument, but silence can backfire. Staying quiet in the face of injustice erodes authority. Never defending your ideas dims your presence. The trick is reading the room. It's not about speaking or staying silent. It's about what gives you the edge. Sometimes silence is the strongest move. Other times, a sharp, well-timed action settles things without drama. The unshakable mind. Being untouchable means not reacting to every slight, not losing balance over criticism, not diving into every fight. It's control, even when the world tries to knock you off course. Provocateurs know the more you react, the more predictable you are. Nelson Mandela endured years of imprisonment, pressure, and provocation, yet kept his clarity and purpose. When released, he didn't seek revenge. He acted strategically, becoming one of history's most revered leaders. His power came from staying on his path. In daily life, it's simpler. Skip petty arguments, don't chase approval in every word, don't live defensively. Stop reacting to every opinion, and you free up energy for what matters. A Journal of Personality study showed that emotionally stable people are seen as more competent. It's not coldness, it's resilience. It takes knowing your triggers, staying focused, and managing your time. Become the one who guides. When you master perception, choose your moments, and influence subtly, you stop being just smart. You become a game changer. This isn't about dimming your light. It's about being heard without a fight. The world isn't always ready for your truth, but you can deliver it in a way that works. Start small. Observe, listen, pick when to speak. You'll see your intelligence turn into real power. If this resonates, support the channel. Join our membership club. It helps us keep creating, and you get exclusive content. Or hit the thanks button below the video. Every bit of support matters and inspires us. Want to dive deeper into strategic thinking? Click the next video. It's already on your screen. See you there.